Hi guys, I want to show you how you can hook up your SharePoint list to a PowerApps and perform CRUD operations and all that. So let's delve in and I show you how to do that. So in my PowerApps homepage here, I can start creating by clicking on a new app, start with a page design, and I can choose to do it on any form factor, but I'll leave it on tablet, and that would open up the environment for me to start building my application. Yeah, so once that is open, I would love to have a template screen to make my job very easy. I would choose the sidebar template screen. Yeah, I'll move that up. I'll take out the old screen. I'll delete that. Okay, so I want to create an app where I can hook this up to my customers list. So I can name the screen by double clicking and typing customers. Okay, and I would love to have the modern controls because I'm trying to add an header control and all that, but when I search for header here, it's not here. So what I do is to come over to my lower pane there, select the settings here, click on update and turn on modern controls. Once that is turned on, I press close. I'll go back into the insert and I search for header, and I can see that here. So I ensure I'm selecting this container for the header, and I check for header and I pull that there. Good, so that brings me an header control. To the left here, I would like to have a table control to display the list of all my contacts on the SharePoint list. Then I will connect this to my SharePoint lists. So you can do that by selecting the SharePoint connector, select it again, and it shows you a list of all your SharePoint sites. Select the current site where your list is, then also select the list name, which is customers. So you can see a notification at the top here saying the data source customers has been added, and I can see the list of all the customers I have so far. Just to show you the SharePoint list, I have the SharePoint list here. You can see the customers information, and that is the information. So I've been able to perform the read operation on the database, and when I click on my data tab here, I can see the customer table right here. Okay, so on the right here, we need to have a form. I would like to have a form where I can display the entire detail of that customer and also to take input and add it to the SharePoint database. So right here, I would select form or search for form, select it. So once the form appears, it prompts me to connect my database. I would also like to connect the same database as with the table control. Okay, great. Now I have my form control here, and I have my table to the left or to the left here. So what I would like to have first is when I select any record here, I would like the form to reflect whatever record is selected on the table. So to make that happen, I will copy the name of the table. I will select the form. I will go on to the item property over here. Then I will paste the table name. So I will try to lock onto the selected property of the table. So when I run the app and I select, you can see that the information is displayed on the right on the form there. Okay. Now, so we have successfully connected to our database. We have been able to read data from the SharePoint, and we've also inserted a form, and we can update this form. Now, if we would like to push back to the database the information that was updated here for a particular record, we will need to add action buttons to make that happen. So to make that work, I would select the parent container for the form. I would insert a horizontal container here. So when I insert it at first, it's looking weird. To make the adjustment, I'll turn off the flexible height, and I'll reduce the height to 100. Yeah, still too big. I'll make that 60. Okay, then inside of here, I can now insert buttons. I'll use the modern buttons. Okay, then I'll duplicate those buttons. I'll do a Ctrl+C and Ctrl+V. I'll do that 4 times, so I have 4 new buttons. Okay, let me do a little adjustment on the design here. I'll select the parent container of the buttons. I would align this to the right. I would give the 20. I'll add a gap of 20 or 10 as well. Then I'll bring that align vertical, I'll bring that to the side. Okay, then I can start renaming or changing the text here. I want this to be my new button, and I'm gonna add the plus here. I want this to be my edit button, and I'll search for the edit icon. I want this to be my delete button, and I'll make that red. I'll say trash, or is there a name for that? How do I get that? Control, yeah, delete. Then this will be my save button. Save. So the model control kind of works differently. So if I need to change the fill, I'll do that here. Make this one red. Give this one a hash, and leave this one the way it is. Okay, so now I've been able to add buttons to control my UI and all that. I will need to configure these buttons for them to work now, because currently when I run the app and press any of these, nothing is happening. Okay, so when I click on the new button, I want to reset the form and make it blank, you know, and all that jazz. So I'll go to the unselect property of the button. Just in case it's not selected, you can scroll down here. There's a drop down here. When you click on it, it gives you a list of all the properties. Over here too, same. I may not see the unselect property on the display tab. I'll go over to the advanced to see all of the other properties. So now on the new button, I would come over here to say new form. So this is the function to create a new form. So when I click on this, it resets the form and made it blank and all that. So now when I run the app and select new, it clears the input for me. Okay, just in case I want to do this without running the app, or like to test or run button, I would hold down the Alt key, then select. Okay, so now the form has been cleared. If I need to edit, the function for that would be edit form, and I'll patch in the name of the form in brackets. Oh, sorry, form 1. So if I want to configure the delete button, I would say I will use the remove function. Okay, and I will put in first it requests for the name of the customer's table, then next adding a bar to put the next item. So it's asking me for what item do I need to take out from the database. So I would say the table control dot selected. So whatever I select on the table control, that will be deleted when I click on this button. And I would like to configure the save button. So I'd say on the unselect, I would say submit form, then I'll say form 1, and that does the trick for me. Okay, so let's test out all we've done. I'll click on new just to ensure it's blank for me. I'll just put a random name. So I really don't have anything to put on the content type. Probably I should have taken that out. I'll do that next. But for now, since I have all of these, I'll just click on save, and you can see the bubbles going up and down. Then that gets pushed to the database, and I can see the results. You can see the result down here, so it automatically refreshes. So I'll click on this, and I can see that information pop up here. So that's how we can quickly hook up our application to a database and perform a CRUD operation. Lastly, to complete the CRUD operation, I would like to delete an item. So let's delete myself. I click on it and I click on delete, and box goes up, and that has been deleted from the database. I would like to show you how you can customize your form a little bit. So for example, the content type, it's just an internal column from SharePoint, and for me to take that out, I don't want the user to see that. I'll click on the form. I'll go over to the display tab. On the fields property to the right, I'll click on edit fields, and right here I can see the content type. I select that 3 dotted lines there, and I'll click on remove, and you can see that will also be taken out from the list here. So that'll be all for this video. Thank you for watching. Let me know if you would like to see more contents like this. See you in the next video. Bye.